how's it going? Welcome back to Transform Church, Michigan. I'm Pastor Michael Ross, founder and lead pastor of Transform Church, Michigan. In our last video, we did an explanation of who we are, what we're about. Now I'm going to take some time to tell you what we've done so far. We haven't even been established online for a full year yet. We're about 8 months into it. Before we were called, though, to start developing this church, and before we were specifically called to start in Flint, that's why overall the church is called Transform Church Michigan, but you'll find our Facebook page is called Transform Church Flint, because Flint will be our first and only location that we're focusing on right now. We will not be focusing or dividing our attention or efforts on anywhere else until such time as things are up and running on their own in Flint, and God makes a way, or God leads us to continue on to somewhere else. I don't believe that God intends for us to ever leave Flint. Transform Church Flint that we plant on the east side off Door Highway, I believe God intends that to be there for until the end. I believe He intends for it to outlive us, and there are a lot of very big plans for what God has in store for Flint, Michigan, on the east side off Door Highway. This video is not about what's coming in the future, though. This is about what's happened in the past. This is about what the founding family has done before we became transformed and what we've done since we became transformed. Not a brag, just an explanation of how God has worked through us, how things have been able to be accomplished by us simply listening to what God wanted for us, how He was directing and guiding us. And hopefully it's something that inspires you, comforts you, provides you hope, especially if you live on the east side. If you're in Flint, come check us out. We're usually out there every Tuesday. If there's sickness or something extreme, then we can't go out there, but we try to be out there no matter what. If we're not scared of sick people, it's more of if we're sick, we don't want to come out there and get you sick. So it's a love thing. All right, so before we were called to plant a church, we were called to serve the community. We began to realize that we were being called to be part of God's plan in a bigger way as we were finding these different ways to serve the community. We went through a couple of different churches, and none of them were really doing enough for our heart's desire to serve. They were doing some, but it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it was enough, like it was the full measure of what God wanted us to be doing as his people. But we have been actively serving the community through various church functions since 2012 and have been directly serving the east side of Flint since 2016-2017. I didn't keep a record because, well, it wasn't that important to me how long we were doing it for. And I didn't know at the time in 2016-2017 that we were going to be called to continue to work in Flint nor plant a church there. Didn't even know for sure if we were supposed to plant a church at that point. But since we launched our internet presence in the second half of 2020, we have published content, including over 90% original content, via Facebook and YouTube. We have been serving with our partners at Feeding the 5,000 and New Life Church of Swartz Creek, Michigan, since September 2020 as an independent church. Our efforts as united churches serving God by loving the community has allowed us to put on a trunk or treat with a huge turnout in October 2020, Christmas presents and a cook-at-home meal for families in the community in December 2020, as well as providing a much-needed appliance to a family who reached out. We were able to put some information out there to the community, asking them to tell us a little bit about their families, if they had any needs that we might be able to fulfill. And somebody asked for an appliance, explained their situation, that they were in great need of it, and we were very, very blessed from another church outside of the United Church that does this effort with that appliance free of charge, and Transform was able to pick it up and deliver it to this family. And we are very grateful and blessed that we were able to help them and serve them. And we really feel bad that there wasn't more we could do, but we're an independent church in development. Like I said, and about us, we're by ourselves. We don't have a big church backing us or a bunch of money or funding or anything. We're a single family, pretty much doing this on our own, doing everything we can. So it's just out of love, and we feel so bad whenever we don't have enough or we can't do more. That's why we keep trying. That's what we're trying to build here. After that appliance, we were then able to put on a special Easter event in April 2021. And we did all of these things during COVID. It didn't stop us. Whatever politicians were doing or not doing didn't stop us. We will not stop serving God, and we will not stop serving the community, period. Currently, we have received federal recognition as a church, and we are waiting for state approval for our business, because churches are recognized like a business, like everything else, in the state of Michigan. Once we have that state approval, we'll be able to file for our nonprofit status. And as we build our launch team, we'll be looking into fundraising and hopefully some grants to move the vision forward. We was in our About Us video, we explained what the launch vision is, what our launch goals are. So if you don't remember or you didn't check that out, make sure you go back, check that out. And I know there's a whole lot to this, but if you want to let other people in your community know that there's a church and a group of people that love and are trying to help, go ahead and share it, put it out there. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll see our new videos. And remember, no matter where you are in life, no matter where you are in your journey, God sees you, God loves you, and if you're not with Him now, He's still holding His hand out, arms stretched out big, waiting for you to come into Him, to get wrapped up in a big comforting hug, because He loves you and He wants you to get away from the stuff that's not good for you, because He has a better way for you.